Now we do a gear shift to one of our favorite companies, something we own in our portfolio, and that is Steinhoff. Because, of course, this is an integrated retailer manufacturing, sourcing and retailing furniture and household goods, mostly in Europe, because their Conforama business is the largest, but, of course, also Africa and Australasia because of Pepkor acquisition. Now listed in Frankfurt, there was a gear change and a share code change at the late end of last year. And in the news recently, because they're trying to insert themselves into a couple of other deals going on in Europe where they want to go in and pay a little bit more for a French retailer and also a UK one than someone else was about to pay. Market capitalization 364 billion rand, so that's in our top tier, not quite as large as some of those other global corporations. Price to earnings ratio says not available, but we'll have to guess what that is. I think we can probably work backwards to a forward price to earnings ratio, and then a dividend yield that's showing as 1.76. Again, maybe the conversion is what got our producers
look at this whole share code change. You lose all your past history. The P is about 22, I think.
Is it? Okay. What do you think of them, though?
Look,
I mean, Marcus,
I own this as well in the portfolios. I am selling a little bit now, but it's not a view on Marcus and Steinhoff. It's actually a view on the Rand. I think the Rand might stabilize and actually strengthen a little bit. But Marcus is a true South African phenomenon. I mean, they started this business. He was an auditor. He was a partner in an auditing firm. And him and some other guys got together and said, how do we make money? And they said, well, let's buy property. So they bought property. And one of the properties they bought was a factory that was leased by Goma Goma, and Goma Goma went bankrupt. So all of a sudden, guys couldn't pay the lease, so they expropriated the assets, and they were in the furniture business. Now they're second only to IKEA worldwide. I mean, it's a true.
And it's because Marcus is a really talented corporate operator. He can tell at a glance whether things are going well.
Look, they've had tough years. They make no mistake, they've had tough years. When they started in the whole overseas, specifically the Poland side, it was a little bit murky as to what was happening, what the outcome is. But the moment they started Pepkor, Conforama and his other acquisitions and Pepkor, I mean, these guys generate 800 million euro free cash flow a year after changes in working capital and debtors. So, I mean, it's phenomenal.
And of course, the Frankfurt listing now gives them access to cheap capital in Europe, because there are corporate bond programs that they've got going. So that's why they can go bid for these other businesses now.
I mean, look, make no mistake, they're not shy here. I mean, Marcus isn't scared. When he bought Pepkor and Conforama, he took the debt. He took the debt through the roof to actually quite uncomfortably high levels. But he refinanced all of that at literally, I think, 2.5%, 3% refinancing in Europe. This free cash flow wipes out your debt quickly. I mean, Jenny wipes it out very quickly. And now he's just bought the Pepkor, admittedly with shares, not debt. And he's going for this French and this UK acquisition now as well. So, I mean, you're quite correct to say he wants to take over the world. Because some people had thought he was going to do another mega deal, but it looks as though it's going to be more like a series of sort of mid-sized transactions. Look, he's running out, and unless he changes these geographies and goes to the US, which the US is highly competitive, unless he changes these geographies, there's not too much else he can buy in Europe, quite frankly.
But he can continue to acquire additional businesses of, say, 10, 15, 20 billion rands worth.
They manufacture in Poland, they manufacture in
and that's what he's really good at, is all that sourcing.
And it's coordination and logistics and distribution. And
because, of course, that's what we're talking about here today. At a Conforama store, what you'll buy is a flat-screen TV from Samsung or LG and a bunch of furniture that's come from all sorts of places. So their speciality is
the placement of the retail outlets, but more importantly, logistics, storing, warehousing, distribution, and they do quite a bit of the flat pack and furniture manufacturing themselves in Poland and in Asia.
Good. So I'm hot on Steinhoff, because I think
even though, and it's a view on the Rand, they've had the Rand firmly, the Rand has been a wind in their sails strongly over the last couple of years. Maybe the next few years is not as much of a positive factor, but the underlying company, a long-term view, definitely hot.
Okay, let's go hot on it. Right.